it is true. I have acquired a certain set of skills.
Mm.
Skills over the years that I will find you, and I will equip you.
Ooh.
I was afraid it was getting a little dark there. I was wondering what was going to come out next. Anyway, that's what we're going to talk about today on Coffee with Ken. What does that have to do with what we're talking about? Very intriguing. But welcome to Coffee with Ken.
Yes.
We're so glad you're here.
Good morning.
And yeah, let's talk about that. Well, first of all, we're here with Ken Brown. He's CEO of Destin Global. And we're
Good morning.
Butch McCracken, who's like ominous right now. And I am Dr. April Brown. I'm Executive Vice President of Coaching here. And so, yeah, like, what are you talking about? Skills.
Well,
you acquired a certain set of
yes.
skills, and then he's kind of ominous over there and dark.
So our theme right now is the law of value. And we happen to be in the week of Hanukkah, the week of light. And how do you bring light to the workplace? And that would be with skills. So that's where that ominous, I have acquired skills. Skills to kill in my job, not people. See, that's where Butch was going. He was going a little bit dark there. But no, it's acquiring skills.
Mm-hmm.
And skills bring light to an office that is lacking. That's why people with certain set of skills, and especially with people skills, are so in demand. Because around this time of year, you start seeing something, and we'll have to work not to get Butch going in this area, so that he doesn't talk about killing people, because it's about customer service.
Mm-hmm.
This time of year, and ever since it's been the COVID brain hit, in 2020, 2021, customer service has just managed to slide backwards.
Yeah.
So people with skill that have attained skills to do very specific attributes at a job, people that have acquired skills, especially in helping and managing people, to get things done, motivating them, encouraging them, overcoming obstacles, which happen every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, obstacles do happen every single day, and oftentimes we get very frustrated with those obstacles. But in today's, especially, the more problems you can solve in a workplace, instead of coming with the problems constantly, instead of creating the problems,
Yes.
Right,
to be able to help to solve problems, it's high value in the workplace, and especially these days, you just stand out in a workplace when you can really solve problems.
And just a couple of weeks ago, we did Jen took us all over Bernie, and Butch and I got to celebrate. You were recovering from an event, but we had gone to all these places in Bernie, and we celebrated with places that had given us great customer service.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really a celebration of people that have really gone out of their way to show people how they value them.
Yeah. How often do customers or clients come back to say those kind of things and thank them for good service? Often you hear about the bad service.
Yes.
If you've done something bad service and they don't like it, they're going to come and they are going to tell you about it.
Oh, yeah.
Always. And I feel like that is one thing that we do so well at Destiny Global and Training Events, and Jackie and Carmen O'Quinn specifically, our master trainers, shout out to them, is edification. Edification is it is that talk about turning and changing the atmosphere of a place, is doing it through edification, and really just pausing and thanking individuals for what they have done. And it changes the atmosphere.
Oh, no. One of the things I used to always say to cashiers, when we talked last time or the time before about how they could make or break, I would also explain to them, with all the competition, all the supermarkets so close, wholesale clubs, convenience stores, Maxwell House Coffee was my example. I said, people want Maxwell House Coffee, and they'll pass 5 stores where they could get Maxwell House Coffee closer to them to come to you and look for you for their Maxwell House Coffee because of the experience you give them. So the only difference, because everybody's so close in price, is convenience with the experience, right? And it doesn't cost you anything.
Mm-hmm.
So they will come here for their coffee,
Yep.
amongst other things, because of the light that you are to them,
Mm-hmm.
just to see your smiling face.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a good cup of coffee. I don't have Maxwell cup in this cup. Right. That
Mhm.
reminds me of Michael Maxwell, and I love Michael, but I wouldn't be drinking his coffee. This is
Folgers.
HB. This is HB.
Oh.
HEB. No, Folgers.
He just not.
We're not going to be. We're going to use our we're going to be using our skill in edifying and not talking bad about another. But the HEB brand of coffee and Christmas in a cup is what this is called, and it is literally that. It's got little smells of cinnamon, chocolate. It's just a little bright light to my morning. Just a little good cup of coffee and celebrating and having times and
Nice.
mm-hmm.
He loves his coffee.
Oh,
I
I
do.
know.
Literally, that's why this became Coffee with Ken.
He's got the
very-
IV set up in his
Yes,
office.
and
Hey.
we talk about it like how the car just, I don't know, suddenly like it just pulls into a Starbucks.
Yeah.
Like
He has a
parking
QR
lot.
code on his
It
truck.
literally is like it just automatically goes to Starbucks.
Oh my gosh.
So many times.
And it doesn't matter
I
the
don't
car
know
he's
how
driving.
we ended up in the Starbucks parking lot, but we did.
Okay, it's not coffee about Ken, it's coffee with Ken. And thank you for joining. So you can learn about some of Ken's bad habits.
And
I-
well, it's gotten so much better. I mean, we had some Starbucks habits. Let's just say we could have had stock and made a lot of money.
I do have
just
stock in Starbucks, but that's a different discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done very well with it. I up the price. I'm a contributor. But I will say this, I mean, individuals with skill that have attained skills coming to the first steps to success in creating a dynasty. And from this last one, and even we were just talking about before we came on, is Glenn and Karen Beachy. And I did not tell Glenn that I was going to use this story, so I will have to beg for forgiveness rather than ask for permission. So here we go, Glenn. So I know we shared this before and we've talked about it, but Glenn had a situation where, he fixes and makes these unbelievably beautiful roofs, metal roofs and all kinds of things around that. We had one client that was, actually it's kind of a two-part story. The first part of it is the company that supplied the roofing material. They didn't like a certain way that another company had put the roof on, and this is like a multi-million-dollar house, and the roof was, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so they were trying to find someone local that could do it, or somewhat local to do it. And Glenn's company came up, and Glenn had a history with this company because they were so particular about things. And Glenn, through his skills that he acquired, knew how to make things work even better than their architects had designed to make sure water would flow correctly and it wouldn't back up and all the different things. Because the last thing you want is a multi-million-dollar house and a multi-$100,000 roof and for it to leak. That is not a good situation. I don't
Not a
care if
good
it's...
combo.
Yes! So Glenn uses his skills with the company first, with the supplier of the material. Then he uses his skills with a very high-end client because, a client that is building a multi-million-dollar house can
They're
tend to be
particular.
very particular and
Yes.
likely has a very high degree of emerald in them. Okay, So,
personality.
a
that
personality.
makes a lot of structure and
Thank you for doing that, right? Because
Yeah.
if you haven't been to
Details.
First Steps, you need to, because
Mhm.
we talk about something called GEMS, which is about personalities. And individuals with very particular, they pay a lot of attention to detail. And through that, Glenn was able to work with them and work with the company, get the repairs done, and get the house back under warranty,
wow.
which was
Wow.
huge, right?
Mhm.
He avoided lawsuits on all different sides, did the work, and actually used his personal skills to build a relationship with the client. And later on, there was a family member that he had that had a medical emergency, and Glenn was able to use that relationship with one phone call, and that person was taken care of that was traveling. And it was
Wow.
unbelievable to watch because he flat told me before, and this was kind of a testimony he's given back to me. He's like, I cannot believe that I was able to do these things and solve these problems and create a relationship. This is a guy and his wife, lovely, amazing humans. Glenn has an 8th grade education as far as the world would look at it through schooling. But the guy's got a master's degree when it comes to how to deal with people and how to build business. And, that doesn't define who he is. Who he is a successful, amazing husband, father, and business person. And Karen right there by his side. And the fact is that he was able to use those skills and do things, and it kind of blew his family away when all this happened.
Sure.
And that relationship came into play.
And when they came to First Steps to Success, they were $1 million in debt.
Close to that, yes.
Paid off $1 million, and now they have $1 million in their
Yep.
investments and assets.
Yeah.
So we were able
crazy.
So we were able to go to their house, to their daughter's wedding. We don't get to do that for everyone, but occasionally things arise and we can. And we were able to celebrate with them. And we saw this barn that he was building. And it was just amazing to see everything that is going on in their lives. And by the way, that's just one of our clients. We have hundreds of clients with the same kind of results.
Yeah.
And the truth is, it's because they have gained skill to kill in the workplace, skill to kill at home, how to resolve problems, how to rebuild relationships.
Yeah. And every situation that you come in contact with just needs a skill. Every problem that you have, it's just you don't have the right skill
That's right.
yet to solve that problem. There is not one thing
So
that
true.
cannot be overcome with using skills.
That is so true.
People skills are uniformly applied
They are.
across all spectrums of work and relationships.
It doesn't
So true.
matter what you're doing, whether you are dealing with your children, whether you are in your relationship with your marriage, or you're dealing with customers, or you're dealing with employees, or you're dealing with your employer. It is people skills.
It is people
It
skills.
all has to do with people skills.
And you know what else about that? You know what I really love about this time of year is I love candle services. You already know this. But it all starts in a totally dark room. It starts with one strike of a match and one candle lit. And the darkness begins to disappear. And then the next candle is lit, and then the next. And that's what happens when a person brings skill to a workplace. It's like when Michael Jordan joined the Chicago Bulls. Why were they losing before and why did they start winning after? Because they raised the skill level of those around them. They encouraged, they edified, they pushed, right? They didn't sit still.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. As we close out this year and we start preparing for 2024, it is all about skill to kill in the workplace, skill to kill in building relationships, healing relationships, gaining those people skills that we're talking about, financial freedom, all the things that go into that, and it's just a beautiful thing. And you know a place we might get some more skill like that?
There might be a place. We've all gone there. We've all gotten skills from coming to our event, which is First Steps to Success. It is in January. Our next one is in January.
Ooh, where
And,
at?
It's in Orlando.
Orlando,
in
Florida.
Florida. We're so excited.
January 26th through 28th. Yes. Details will be below in the comments. Hotel.
Click on that. Get your
Fabulous.
tickets because, like what we're talking about, and in January, that's when things start, and it's towards the end of January. You make your New Year's resolutions, and you kind of go off track. Probably around the middle of January, just go to an event that can help you get on track. Not just making New Year's resolutions. But
Right.
what is your vision? What is your
Lifestyle changes.
dreams,
Correct.
and how to do those? How
Sure.
to actually put them into action, and not just have a great idea about something. Cause
That is so good. It's so
So,
true.
you can do that when you come and be part of a community that supports you, that cheers you on. We all want their success. We want your
Yes.
success. We want you to have success. So click on the link below. We would love to have you there. Like you can have like what we just shared about Glenn Beachy and Karen.
Glenn and
that.
Karen, yes.
Yeah, and that can be your story as well. So we would love to see you there, and click,
Like, share,
this
yes.
so that other
Yes.
people can join us for our next episode of Coffee with Ken. Thank you so much for
for
joining
being here.
us. See you
Happy
next time.
Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.